Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Karen Daniel and I am the Event Director of Planner at Hand Event Management Consultancy. Now today I welcome you to join us in our top 10 tips of how to run an event, how to run a corporate event. Now my background is 20 to 25 years in the professional service industry. I have run corporate events all over the world. I've organised events in MIPIM in Cannes, which is a real estate conference. I've done the World Economic Forum in Davos, summer parties, Christmas parties, staff parties, private parties, the list goes on. Anyway, I'm an event manager. So today I want to just share with you how we can organise events from concept to completion, and what we're going to do is try and just do the top 10 tips, do it within 20 minutes or so that you can get a general idea of the best way forward. Now grab yourself a notepad and pen and join me in going through the top 10 tips. Okay, so the first one is your budget. Now I'm going to try and, oh dear, my pen's running out. Budget. All I'm going to say, be realistic when you decide on your budget. Your budget is to include all of your content, your theme, your design, your catering, your transport, your accommodation, everything. Within your budget, have your contingency plan. And within your contingency plan, you have your contingency fund. Okay? So you start with your budget, that way you know exactly where you are. There's no point saying that you want silver service, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that, and you've not got half the funds to accommodate that kind of style or content. So your budget is very important. So just be realistic, have your contingency fund, and you should be okay going forward to understand exactly how much you've got for each element of your event. Okay? Number one, your budget. Number two, you're going to have, I'm going to call it today your project event plan, because it's an event after all. So let's go project event plan. Okay, now within your project event plan, you're going to produce your schedule, which at a later date, that is what you can provide to your vendors to notify them of time of arrival, where they're going to set up, that type of thing, your timings, etc. You also need to take into consideration your date conflicts. If there's any other important events happening, then seriously reconsider your date. It could be a sporting event, it could be a royal wedding, anything where there's going to be large audience and it's going to distract from your event. Seriously think about the date that you are considering for your event, shall I say. Okay, also within your project plan, you want your concept and design. Your concept and design, that's your theme, your colour, etc. That type of thing you're going to also need to include, so you know where, exactly how much it's going to cost to put it all together. The actual design can cost quite a lot. The theme can cost quite a lot. So all of these things you're going to put into your project plan. In addition, your branding. If you're working internally, liaise with your marketing team, let them know this event's happening, provide you with an idea of just how much branding there is available. If not, you may need to get some more pull-up stands, some banners, that type of thing done. So, liaise with your marketing team internally to make sure you're all on the same page, and you roll out some branding. Okay, you also need to think about your team. That will come later. I'll add teamwork so that I'm not duplicating where we're going along, but all of this is going into your project plan. Make sure you have an idea of literally everything within your project plan. Okay, that's a few of the basics to get you going. That's your project event plan. Okay, number 3, we're going to have a look at one of your key things, obviously, your venue. Now this is where you need to be on site. We in the business call it a site visit. It's always recommended that you pop along to your venue to determine whether or not it's suitable. The location, what's the local transport like. I know that TfL are more or less open 24 hours now, but everybody wants to particularly get on the train. Parking, that type of thing. Your access points, the opening times, the Wi-Fi available on site, suitable for your AV requirements, plug-in points, your facilities, your bar facilities, make sure there's not a bottleneck when your guests arrive, all of the content surrounding that. Okay, so you want to just check your facilities. And you also want to look at what the nearby area is like. It's important to go along to a few different venues before you make a final decision. Just ascertain if this venue is what you're looking for, and your guests, general surrounding area, that type of thing. Okay, it's also really important. I know it might sound simple, but in today's society, Wi-Fi is key. Not just any old Wi-Fi. If you're doing an event and you've got speakers or presenters or anything like that, the capacity of their Wi-Fi, you may need to bring in a specialist to actually look after your AV, your Wi-Fi facilities, that type of thing. So when you go along and do your site visit, take a notepad, pen. You can refer to, sometimes you can even record it. You could take your photos. This is your own library of your event and the venue and all the people that you speak to. Make your notes. It's fine. They sometimes can send you 360 photos and everything, that you can make your own library of your venues that you've gone to actually do a site visit to. Okay? So then we have number 4, research. Research. Do your research on all your vendors, all your suppliers. The easiest way to do it is to Google it, or recommendation from friends, family, colleagues. See what other people say about them. See if they're flexible. See what your gut feeling says about them. But as a quick fix, I can highly recommend you Google it. Just ask other people. Okay, so just go along with your gut feeling, what you know and can find out about the people that you're going to be working with. Remember, these are people that you're going to be liaising with quite in depth on a regular basis and building a relationship. It's always good to build relationship with those that you're working with. If you've got a happy relationship with these suppliers, then you can guarantee that you're both on the same page and you're both happy about their final outcome. It's always about the win-win for both of you. Okay, so that's number 4, your research. Number 5, let's just cover a little bit about your logistics. Now your logistics is going to be your center point of your arrangements, because when I say logistics, all of your logistics is going to cover your vendor collaboration. Your vendor collaborations. the time of arrival for all your vendors to make sure everybody knows what time they're due to arrive, where they can set up, and what, you know, like if they've got sufficient plug points, things like that. All your vendors should be collaborating with you at the centre, and they need to know what time they're going to arrive, how much space they have, you know, how much time they have to set up and de-rig. So all of that's going to be in your logistics. You also need to think about wheelchair access, your disabilities, wheelchair access, and, you know, your disabled access, shall we say. Very, very important that you make sure you have wheelchair access, and those for the disabled, including lifts, that type of thing. You also need to think about your AV requirements. Okay? Is there staging? If there isn't staging, do they have contacts where they can bring it in for you? Is it in-house? Do you need to arrange for AV to be brought in? All these is an idea so that you know to go into your budget. Okay? You also need to think about your insurance. If you're running an event, any time of the year, it's recommended that you have insurance. Now, there's a great company that do one-off event insurance, which is called Event Assurance with an A. Event assurance will cover you for any force of nature. You can do per event. I don't think you need to do it for the whole year. If you're just doing the occasional event, you can just do it, you know, as you go along. So these are kind of the basic things that you need to include within your logistics, you know, and your arrival times, that type of thing. It's important that you get that right, what the times that people arrive and so forth, so that you haven't got everybody arriving at the same time and it's all confusing for you and for them. So these are your logistics that you need to think about. Sufficient people to serve it, your team, etc, etc. Okay, this is just a general idea of your logistics. As you go along, you'll find that there'll be more things to add in there, but this is just a quick general overview to take into consideration. All right, okay, so that's number 5. Number 6, let's look at the entertainment. Now, once you have decided on your concept, your theme and your design, you'll need to decide and go and have a look at your entertainment or who your speaker will be. If you are going to have entertainment, it's always advisable to pop along and see them in action, just to see if they are actually any good. And also, if you're having a speaker, do treat them like royalty. Make sure there's somebody there to meet and greet them. Make sure there's a senior member of staff, if not yourself, to tell them what their expectations are, what time to go on, what time to come off, if there's any breaks, etc, etc. Make sure everybody knows what their expectations are for the day. With your entertainment, get that booked, confirmed, get it in the diary, know exactly who you've got, and maybe even have a bit of a backup when it comes to entertainment. I actually remember having an event many years ago, and we was going to have what was he was Dean Martin impersonator, and he had an accident, a car accident on the way to the event. And I'm not sure if you remember, but Dean Martin actually died in a car accident, so it was really quite weird. So I had luckily I had on standby Marilyn Monroe lookalike, so it didn't actually affect the event. Always think about a backup. You never know what can happen. So that was quite funny. So, you know, have a bit of backup on the day. All right. Also, if you're going to have a speaker, have somebody to meet and greet, make them feel special. If it's a speaker, you're obviously going to be paying for them. Well, maybe not. You might have got them for free. But if you're going to have a speaker, try and have a small room where you can meet them and give them the relevant brief. Okay? So, back up and look after your entertainment, speaker, etc. like you should, really. Like they're special. Okay? So you got number 4 is your research, number 5 your general logistics, number 6 your entertainment and speaker. It's all about having a contingency plan, bringing it all together and making sure that you've covered all elements. Okay, number 7, we're going to cover staff. Okay? Staff. Now, the reason why I wanted to add in staff in that is because you can't be everywhere. You need to learn to delegate. When you run an event, you do have to manage a lot of different elements, and that means your staff as well. Learn to delegate. Learn to ensure you have sufficient cover on the day or the day before even. You know, there's things that might need doing, like your favours or your gifts and things like that. All of that should be done in advance. Try and avoid doing the little things on the day of the event that can be done in advance. Okay? So with your staff, just make sure you have sufficient cover. That includes the cover with your suppliers and your vendors. Make sure there's sufficient cover for the bar staff, sufficient cover for catering, sufficient cover for the cloakroom. So make sure that the cloakroom facilities and everywhere pertaining to your event is covered with the right staff and the right amount of staff. Okay? Ready to move on? Number 8. Now we're going to look at your contracts. Remember, you're going to be collaborating with a variety of different vendors. So somewhere along the line, you're going to need to sign and agree contracts. Don't be scared to ask for help from someone to just, run their eye over the contract. Check and double check your fine print. Ensure that you agree to the terms and conditions. Sign it, send it back. Do not assume because you've sent an email that your agreement is confirmed. If they are providing a contract, review it, double check it, sign it, get it back to them with the relevant deposits or payments required. Okay, so just double check. Just double check the fine print. Okay, just to make sure that you don't encounter any issues on the day of people not turning up, basically. And number 9, your promotion. Now, if you're working for an internal organisation, you will probably have sufficient platforms where you can advertise your event. Now, you can have your internal website, newsletters, posters, etc. Promote your event. Okay? So, and then you've got social media. You've got your newsletters and banners. The list goes on and on. There's loads of different ways to promote your event nowadays. Ensure your event is promoted, and where possible, get a bit of branding out there as well. Okay? Now, those 9 things should cover the general foundation of getting your event organised. Obviously, it takes a lot more than that, but I'm just running through so you have an idea of a guideline to what it takes to run an event. Okay, number 10 is coming to an end, and it's the day of event execution. Now, by now, everything should be in place. You know what your expectations are, your theme, your speakers, your entertainment, your staff, etc. Now, all I'm going to say about on the day of the event, it's all about you, because you are going to be at the helm of this. So, a couple of things I'm going to point out. Get a good night's rest. Make sure you are rested and the mind is focused, the mind is clear. Wear comfortable shoes. If you're comfortable in high heels running around all day, then wear high heels. I'm actually more comfortable in high heels, I won't lie. But on a day of an event, throughout the day, I make sure I've got on my flats on, if necessary trainers. Hey, I'm working. So wear comfortable shoes. Wear suitable clothing. You know, it's a bit... it doesn't work wearing a short skirt, low cut top and high heels. It just doesn't work. It's not sensible. So be sensible, be clear. So, you know, wear comfortable shoes, wear sensible clothing, have a clear and focused mind, know what your aim is for the day. Okay, it's for you to lead from the front. It's your responsibility to bring it all together. You're going to be juggling a lot of balls, so it's your responsibility to catch those balls or to keep them in the air, however you want to look at it. Okay, so have all your paperwork prepared, get yourself prepared, your mind prepared, so that you can execute a wonderful event. Now, that's me for the top 10 tips, and I hope that they've given you some kind of guideline. But once, if you follow the process and you organize yourself, you communicate clearly with people, you know what your budget is, you've got your project event plan, and everything's in order, then you really are on the right path to delivering a successful event. All else fails, you know what you need to do? You call me. I'm going to take this opportunity to share with you my contact information. If you need a hand with events, call the specialist at Planner at Hand. And you can contact me at kd@plannerathand.com, or check out our website on www.plannerathand.com. Alternatively, you can check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. My name is Karen Daniel, once again. And you can check me out, link me up. If you just need some guidance or somebody to talk to, you're welcome to give me a call. On that note, I just want to say thank you once again for joining us at Planning at Hand. And I sincerely wish you all the best with planning your next event. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you. Bye.